Last Thursday and Friday. They were sad days. One of the best bands of all time. One of the best groups. They died.
No, they didn't.
Oh, they didn't?
No, they didn't
Oh.
die.
Oh,
They
okay.
just broke up.
Oh, that's
Well, they didn't
sad.
break up. They just ended.
Fair.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Been a fan of these guys. I kind of got into them late personally. I've been meaning
Same here.
to revisit and get back into it. But haven't gotten around to it quite yet. They dropped two albums back to back days. They pulled a Frank
Talking about
Ocean.
Brockhampton, by the way.
Yeah, if you didn't read the title or anything. Um, they pulled a Frank Ocean, dropped on back to back days, and we're gonna talk about both of those albums. We're gonna start off with The Family. Jacob, do you want to start us off with that?
Yeah. So when we reviewed Big Pussy, go watch that, by the way, if you haven't already. When we reviewed Big Pussy, I was like, I do not like this direction at all. I'm like, this is way too crazy, too much going on. And then The Family came out. Just this, I mean, I like it actually. It's not bad. I think it's like a really creative and fun album, and I think it's good that Brockhampton got to do that before they all like went out. And I think it's really good that they like got to experiment and do something fun, and make a good album with. I mean, it's good. I like it. It's something I might not listen to all the time, but I think that it's definitely like a certain mood. There's some really fun and interesting songs. I like that they experimented, and it seems like they all kind of like were taking shots at each other a little bit and all that stuff. But it was still kind of, it was a fun listen. So yeah, what do
Yeah,
you think, Riley?
I definitely liked the more introspective look on the band throughout both albums, but you saw that as well in The Family. I did think it was a little bit different and kind of like fun. I like that all the tracks were pretty short on that one, and it seemed like they were trying out a bunch of different things. Like they had some pretty unique songs on it.
Hmm.
Um, like All That was obviously based off of the Nickelodeon show from the '90s, and it was kind of, it's weird to hear that, but it's really, I liked it. It was one of my favorites actually on the album.
Hmm.
Overall, the album felt very nostalgic to me, and like sonically felt nostalgic and very like '90s esque. And I feel like
Yeah.
that was probably on purpose because on that album it seemed like they were looking back on a lot of the goods and the bad times, what they could have done better. Maybe they should have ended after Saturation 3 as a group. Maybe they talk about that a little bit, and maybe that's not what they where they meant. But I know Kevin Abstract was talking about even on Iridescence, which came out right after Saturations, when he started feeling out of it a little bit. And I
Hmm.
thought that was interesting to hear because a lot of times in like these bands, you don't ever hear that unless if it's like in interviews. So it's kind of cool to see that in their art as well. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So do you want to say some of your favorite tracks?
Yeah, I'll talk about some of my favorite tracks he actually started with. These are not in any particular order. They're just based off. I'm just going down like the track list. So, all that it's one you referenced, Riley. I like that song. Basement's a good song. The Family, My American Life, and then Brockhampton. Those are my top five from The Family. What about you, Riley? What are your top five?
My top five, they're kind of in order. They're subject to change, but you know, my favorite I think is Brockhampton. I just really liked the way that they talked about things on it. The
Hmm.
Family is also an incredible track on there. All That, probably the funnest track in my opinion on the album. I don't know how it's gonna hold up longevity wise. RZA, I really like that one as well. And the ending, that one did end up being one of my favorites on the album.
Nice. So
Yeah,
we're not too far off. We have some of the same songs.
yeah.
So
And then overall on this album, I think I'm giving it like a 6.3, somewhere in that.
6.3.
Yeah, it's a really
Interesting.
solid album. It's above average by a significant, like a decent margin, and overall really do enjoy it. So a 6 and 1/3.
I think I'd probably give it around a six as well. It's not something that's like incredibly stand out and life changing, but it's definitely just a fun album to listen to and very experimental. So yeah, I'd give it probably about a six. So I'm probably not far off from you. So
Awesome. Now we're gonna move on to
transition.
TM. What did you think about TM? Do you want to start, or do you want me to start off with this one?
You can start off on this one since I started off with The Family.
Fair. TM, I did like it a lot. I personally like it more than the family. The production overall felt a lot like smoother, a lot more modern, probably by design. Overall, much lower energy than the family. Still had high energy. I mean, it's a Brockhampton album, but it was a little bit more low energy, and a lot of the production felt like it was kind of like sailing away or drifting apart, which I really did like that. I mean, that's kind of the sonically what is happening. Like the band is splitting up. They're all gonna exist still in some facet, but they're all going their own ways. Um, I thought that was incredible. I thought overall I enjoyed the production more. It was more groovy, more my style, more my genre. So that's my overall thoughts on that album. How about you?
Yeah, very similar to you. It's obviously a completely different album than The Family. Um, I like that they did that. I like how they basically released two very different albums in the span of literally 2 days. So, um, not something I was expecting when you texted me saying that they're dropping another album. I was like, "What are you talking about?" I was
Nope.
like, What are you saying? What is this right now?"
I'm
And
glad they did, personally.
yeah, I am very, very glad they did. I enjoy this. Enjoy TM much more than The Family. It's just better sonically, in my opinion. It's everything kind of flows, like you said. It's smoother. Um, the energy is still kind of there, like you said. It's a little slow, but it still gives off Brockhampton vibes. And there were some songs that I was just like, "Dang, these are really, really good." And I could see myself listening to this album periodically. I feel like so.
Yeah, I think it'll end up being in my rotation as well.
Mm.
Um, yeah, overall really good. One thing I want to say, you know the song Listerine? Next time you listen to it, for some reason it sounds a lot like a Travis Scott song. I
Mm.
don't know why. Like it's clearly not, but first time I listened, I was like, "Is Travis on this song? What's going on?"
Mm.
Um, he's not.
There
But
was actually at some points I was like, is this them? Are they all? Is this someone featured on here? But there are no features on this album, which is kind
there
of
were no
crazy.
features on either of them.
Yeah, so it's all them.
Yeah, which I also really do like that they did that because
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I thought this was an amazing exclamation point to the end of their discography.
Yes.
Their discography had some highs, some lows, and I thought they ended on a pretty good high.
Sure.
Those two albums and Roadrunner as well, bunched into there. I thought that was an amazing album as well. And I think that's a really, really good trio to end on.
Yeah.
Um, what were your favorite tracks on this one?
All right. This is again in not my like order. I'm just going down track list. Animal was good. I thought I liked Animal. Man on the Moon. I think probably that might be my favorite. I know you really like that too, Riley.
Yeah.
And then kind of rounding it off at the end of the album, Duct Tape, Always Something, and then Goodbye. Those are my top five.
All right. Mine was Man on the Moon. I just can't not dance to it. I don't know what's going on. It's just so fun. It's already
Yeah.
become a staple, like at Sam's Club when we're stocking it the night on the speakers. That's already become a staple for us.
Nice.
Better Things is up there for me as well. Goodbyes, amazing outro for not only the album but their career, like their group as well.
Yep.
Always Something's really good, and I also really did like Animal. Um,
Nice. I was
Overall,
contemplating Better Things as well. That was another song. When earlier, me and Riley were saying we're going to do our top five, and Riley was having a hard time picking five because he said a lot of them were tied for five, and I said, "Dang!" And then Better Things was tied with another song too for me. So I was like, "Dang, I like Better Things," but I think it was Always Something beat it out in my opinion. So
fair. I have that as well. So
yeah,
yeah. Overall, I'm thinking like a 7.5 on this album.
yeah, I'm
I
thinking
really
high
did like it.
too. I'm thinking 7.5, 7.5, 8 maybe.
Okay,
Just
nice.
personally, without putting any numbers. Like personally, I really like this album. It's really, really a really, really good album.
Yeah, yeah. Tell us what you guys thought about the albums. Which one did you prefer? I know there's a bit
Yeah.
of a disagreement going on in the community on that. I'd like to hear it. Clearly, we're both on the side TM.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
yeah, let us know. What was your favorite songs off of either one? Um, which was
We
your
will be
least favorite?
doing we'll be doing bracket challenges for all of Brockhampton soon. Not
Yep.
quite sure when we're gonna hit them. Might be soon, might be a little bit later, but we'll definitely hit Brockhampton here pretty soon. So if you're interested in seeing more Brockhampton album reviews and stuff like that, make sure you guys subscribe and like this video and let us know what you think.
Yeah, and on some of those, we haven't really listened to them. I don't think I've ever listened to All American Trash personally, and
I
I've
have not
listened
either.
to Saturation, all 3 of them, but I haven't like listened to them.
Yeah.
I really didn't get into them till like Ginger or Roadrunner, so that'll be interesting. You'll be seeing some fresh perspectives on it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Deuce.
Thanks for watching.
Bye bye.